Hello everyone, thanks for joining me for the last video in the advanced if function series. If you are yet to see previous videos, the links are in the description box below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button below. You can also share my videos with colleagues, friends, and family. Today, we'll take a look at MAXIFS and MINIFS. Please note that these functions are currently only available in Microsoft 2019 and Microsoft 365 versions. Now let's take a quick look at our data. Here's a list of companies, their industries, number of employees, and revenue. The MAXIFS function helps you to find the maximum value in a range based on a given set of conditions or criteria. The syntax for MAXIFS is max range, criteria range 1, criteria 1, criteria range 2, criteria 2. Simply put, is asking where do you want to find the maximum value? What is your first criteria range? What is the first criteria? What is your second criteria range? What is the second criteria? And so on. This function can take up to 126 criteria pairs. The syntax for MINIFS is similar to MAXIFS. The only difference is that Excel will determine the minimum value from the min range based on a given set of conditions or criteria. In the previous videos, we used the SUMIFS, COUNTIFS, and AVERAGEIFS to test a single criteria. However, MAXIFS and MINIFS are not available in Excel. What people do most times is to combine the max and min functions with the if function. But you don't have to do that. You can use MAXIFS and MINIFS function to test a single criteria. Take a look at the syntax. Square brackets in Excel denote optional arguments. So the formula will still work if the arguments are omitted. Now, let's find the maximum revenue for companies in the health industry. MAXIFS. What is the max range? That is, where do you want to find the maximum value? That's the revenue column. What is the first criteria range? That is the industry column. What is the first criteria? Health. This is a cell reference. You can also type this directly in the formula. However, remember to wrap it in quotation marks. Close the bracket and hit enter. There you go, to 20,000. I've used a simple data validation here so we can easily change the industry to determine the maximum for each one. So if I change it to financial services, there you go. Let's determine the minimum revenue for companies in the health industry using the MINIFS function. MINIFS. So here we'll just change MAXIFS to MINIFS. There you go. The answer is 25,000. Now let's test multiple criteria. Let's find the maximum revenue for companies in the health industry with less than 100 employees. MAXIFS, what is the max range? That is, where do you want to find the maximum value? The revenue column. What is the first criteria range? That is the industry column. What is the first criteria? Health. What is the second criteria range? That is the number of employees column. What is the second criteria? Less than 100. You can also type this directly in the formula. However, remember to wrap it in quotation marks. Close the bracket and hit enter. There you go. For MINIFS, I'll copy the formula over and change MAXIFS to MINIFS. There you go. The answer is 25,000. Let's change the second criteria to greater than 100 employees. There you go. Now, two things you have to note is that if the size of the max range and criteria range are not the same, MAXIFS and MINIFS function will return the value error. And when no cells match the criteria, it will return a 0. Let me demonstrate the value error quickly. I'll just adjust the max range. There you go. It has returned the value error. I'll undo that. Now these functions can also work as array functions with the use of Control Shift and Enter, popularly known as CSE, if you are using Microsoft 2019. Now all you have to do is highlight the cells you want the formula to apply to, type the formula. Now instead of pressing Enter, you press Shift, Control and Enter. And the formula will apply to the highlighted rows. However, if you are using Microsoft 365, you only hit Enter and it will spill to the rest of the rows, just like this. I hope this tutorial has been useful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Please subscribe, share the video, and hit the like button.